So guys, you're welcome to question 8. So we are going to be teaching question 8 under this system. This is the continuation of our live class yesterday, where we stop at question 7, and here we'll be continuing with our question 8. So this is what we have as a question 8 to solve in this question 8. As you can see, this is the question is not yet complete. Let me complete the question. So these are in base 2, and this one is principal of 2, and this is in base 2, and this is principal of what? Of 2. We're told to evaluate this question. You have to evaluate one base 2 and open bracket, close bracket, a base power of 2, that is square of this, minus we have 101 base 2 and I have the square of it. Now if you're told to solve this question, how do you attempt to solve it? The same question, you can find the same question in WAEC examination and also find the same question, similar question in JAMB examination. For this particular question I gives out here is from JAMB past question. Okay, from JAMB past question. So guys, watch the end of this class and learn the step by step how to solve this question, and we are going to be starting our live class today. So if you have your friends, before your friend, we'll be starting by 7 miss 1 minute. That's 7:35. It miss 1 minute before we kick off the class. So before your friends, and if you are joining us for our group, you can let me know in the comment section. Okay, so before your friends, and then we shall go to solve this question. 1 minute to go to start the class. Hey guys. So let's begin. Let's begin with the class. Let's begin with the class. So we have the question says we should evaluate. Okay, so let's look at the solution and how to evaluate this question. This question, we are still on number based system. That is where we have been solving 6. We start these classes, and this after today, by next week, we will be starting 4 class for this coming WAEC and JAMB examination mathematics. So if you have anyone writing any kind of exam, either WAEC or JAMB or NEC examination, prefer them to join the platform. We'll be going live. We'll be going live at evening. We are starting from 8 p.m. Okay, 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. every day. Okay, every day for the month. This one immediately. It is next month. We start immediately 1-2. That is where we start for next month. So join us. So let's look at this question. The question says we evaluate 1 okay, we evaluate 1 in base 2 plus bracket base power of 2 minus 101 in base 2 is power of what? Of 2. Now, how do we evaluate this question? How did you attempt to solve this mathematics question? It's very, very simple. Now, let's go. We have this question here. Let's for the first break this one out. The first one here, 1 in base 2, and it is power of 2. So in this place, now, what we just have to do here is to find the square of this. They can solve it in 2 ways. Okay, you can solve it in 2 ways. Let me share with you how to solve it. Okay, the 2 ways to solve it. I'll share with you the 2 ways to solve it. I will use the 2 ways to solve it. So let me write the question completely. That is minus, that is 101 in base 2 and also is power to 2, that is square. Now the first method I'll be using, that is the first method I'll be using, it to be in the form that, so you have to find what 1 square in base 2. That means that we are multiplied in 2 times. So that means that 1 in base 1 square, okay, means that we are multiply 1 multiplied by multiply by 111. Okay, so I multiply it in I multiply because squared means that that number it is doubled, multiplied instead doubled, okay, in 2 times. So that means that we just do the simple mathematics here. Now 1 1 1, okay, the second one 1 1 1, and then we are multiply. That is multiplication in number based system. So 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, 1 times, okay, this one has done. So let's move to this one. Let's do to multiply them. Let me use them to multiply this up. So that's 1 times 1. It will be written under here. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1. So we miss this. 1 times 1 is 1. It will be under this one because we are using this one to be under this. 1 times 1 that will be 1, okay. 1 times 1 that will be what? 1. And then we add it together. So when you add it together now, sorry. So when we add it together, that is this one to be additional. Now here we have number 1. This one here to be calm down. Okay, 1 plus 1. Remember they are in base 2. They are in base 2. Take note of that. 1 plus 1, that is 2. Okay, now you have to cover this 1 plus 1 that give us 2. And in base 2, the number you can see in base 2, the maximum number you can see in base 2 is 1. And all the number you can see in base 2 is 0 and 1. That are the number you can see in base 2. And when you say this plus this, we give us what? 2. We have 2. When you add it together, we have 1 plus 1 give us 2. Now you have to convert this 2 to base 2. How they convert this 2 to base 2 is to divide it by the base, which is 2. So that means that divide the 2, you get 1 plus 1 here, that is 2. We divide by the base we are working towards, that is our working for, that is 2. So means that we divide by 2, 2 divided by 2, that is 1, remaining of what? Of 0. And 2 divided by 1 is not possible. You write 0 and write this 1 as a remainder. That means that you write it from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top. So we have 1 0. So 2 in base 2 is equal to 1 0. So we write this 0 and keep 1 to the other place. Keep 1 here to the next one. Okay, that is 1 plus 1, that is 2 plus 1, that is 3 plus 1, that is 4. So means that we have 4. I get now. That means we have 4. So let's convert the 4 to base 2. So y by we divided by 2. 2 divided by 2, that is equal to 2 divided by 4, that is 2, remainder of what? Of 0. 2 divided by 2, that is 1, remainder of what? Of 0. And 2 divided by 1, that is 0. That is, write this one as a remainder, and that is what? 1. So we write this from bottom to top, that is 1 0 0. So that means that this 1 0 0 here, that is, this becomes what? We have, you write what? 0. Okay, and 1 and 1 and 1 to be this end. Just on here we made 0, we have 0 left here, and here we have what? 1 left at that particular place now. That is where when you write 0, it means 0 and 1. So 1 plus 1, that is 2. Again, 1 plus 1, that gave us 2. Yeah, 2 plus 0 here is 2, and 2 will give us 1 0. So it means that we have 0 here, okay, and then we mix 1 to the other part, so 1 to be here. So 1 plus 1 here, that's 1 plus this one we carry that time, that is 1. That is 2 rather, plus 1, that is 3. So you have to convert 3 to base 2. So that 3 you convert into base 2. So 3 convert to base 2. That is we have 2 divided by 3. Just 1 middle 1, and then 2 divided by 1, that is 1, that is 0, that is 2 divided by, that is 0 middle what? Of 1. So that will be 11. Write it from the bottom to top, that is 1 1, that's 11. So it means that you have 1 1 here, 11. So the multiply of this one we have as this in base 2. When this one and this one multiply, we have it what? As this in base 2. Again now let's come to this, the second one here. Let's solve the second one here. The same thing applicable. The way we solve this, we solve the second one. Okay, we have what? That is 1. Okay, let me, this one as solved here. We have solved this one to this part. So it means 1 0 1 k square. 1 0 1 square, the same thing we did here, that is 1 0 1, okay, 1 0 1. You multiply itself in 2 times, and then we do this multiplication. Hope you guys are following. So the next thing you have to do here now, when it gets to this point, Next thing you have to do here is to do what? The multiplication the same way we did the multiplication here. This is the first method. I will share with you the second method as a very fast way method to solve it. If you find this question in objective or you find this question in that is JAMB examination, to very easy for you to solve. Now let's make it easy now. 1 times 1 times 1 that is 1, 1 times 0 that is 0, 1 times 1 that is what? 1. That's normal mathematics. So let's call to this 0. 0 times 1 here, that is given us as 0. You write it under this because we're working towards this. 0 times 0 we have 0. 0 times 1 that is 0. So the next one we have 1. Okay, let me try to create more space. Okay, now make this 1 times 1 here, divide this under this one because that is 1. 1 times 0 that is equal to 0, 1 times 1 that is equal to 1. And then what we do next is we add it together. So this one to be plus, we add it together. Now this one 1 plus this number here, we have dropped this one. 0 plus 0 that equals 0. 1 plus 0 that is 1 plus 1 that is 2. And 2 in base 2, what we work that time, it is what? 1 0. That means what? We write 0 here and keep 1 to the next one. Okay, 0 plus 0 that is 0. Okay, plus 1 that will be what? 1. And here we draw this one here, that will be 1. So that means that when you are converting, when you are multiply this 1 0 1 inside into times, we get what? This in base 2. That will be the answer. Now then we have to subtract it. That is what we're given here. The question is saying that what? After getting this one, after take the square of this, then you subtract it together. So that means that we are subtracting the answer we get at this particular point. The answer we get here will be subtracted from the answer we get at this part. I hope you are following. The answer we get here, we subtract this one from the answer. So let's make it the way it's been waiting for us, so for better understanding. So we have 1 in base 2 or base power square minus 101 okay, square in base 2. This is what we have as a question. Now this one, for this 1 in base 2, it gives us what we have as that. It gives us 11001. Okay, that is what it gives us. So definitely means that for instead of writing this, we replace by what? By this. That means this one now becomes 1 0 0 0, and that is 1 in base 2 minus, and this one becomes this, that is 1 1 0 0 in base 1 in base 2. I get now. That is this way you will solve it. That is the way it is being solved. So now let's subtract it together. That is the subtraction. Next thing is to subtract it. So if you could try it, now let me know. I want the class to be very interactive. So let me know in the comment section. Let me see what you do. How do you subtract this question? Let me see what you do in the comment section before I give you the final answer of it. Let me see your calculation in the comment section. Let me see your answer in the comment section before I did it for you guys. I'm waiting for you guys. Let me just give it 3 minutes to do that. So let's go. So let me solve it. Let me share the solution with you guys. So I hope you have done Okay, let me check this comment section. Let me see what you guys have talked um before I proceed with the question, the solution of it. Okay, let's go. Let's subtract this to this. Let's subtract what we have here. Let's subtract it. Let's subtract what we have here. So let's make it. Let me do it here. Okay, let me try. I think I still have a space down here. Okay, so you have a space down here. So let's first of all, this if you look at this one, this GTA of this one is better than this. We are subtracting this from this. So that means to write this one first. You have 1 1 0 0 0. Okay, 1 in base 2, and also this one be written start from this, the first digit here, start from this place. There is 1. After it have 0. Okay, you have 0, and then we have 1 1, and we subtract it. So sorry, so we subtract it. Now how do you do subtraction in number base? Now when you're subtracting it, now there will be 1 minus 1 that will give us a 0. You know, 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. 0 minus 0, you have 0. 0 minus 0, we have 0. And here 1 minus 0. Want to subtract 1 for 0, that is not possible. You have to borrow 1 from this part. Again, now 1 minus 0 is not possible. You borrow 1 for this part. So when you borrow 1 from this part, this one becomes 1 0. Okay, this one becomes 1 0. Now the one you borrow will be added to this 0 here. Note, when you borrow 1 from base 2, in base 2, the one you borrow will be automatically become base 2. It will automatically become 2. So if the base you are working towards is base 3, the one you borrow becomes automatically becomes 3. Now the one we borrow from this place will become 2 because I'm working towards base 2. So the one will becomes 2. So that means that this place 2 plus 0 here we have as 2. So it means that the one we borrow here, because I'm working towards base 2, so the one will automatically becomes 2. I get now. If it is base 3 you're working towards, the one we borrow you automatically becomes 3. I get now. That is the way number base is being worked. Okay. Now 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2, that is equal to what? 1. And here we have 0 here. 1 minus 0 here, that is not possible. You have to borrow 1 for this place. When you borrow this one here, we have 0 here. Okay. The one you borrow to this place automatically becomes 2. So it means that we have 2 here. So 1 minus 2, that is what? That is 1. I get down. So we subtract this minus this, we have 1. I get it now. Now, so in this place, we mean 0 here, that means we have 0 here. Okay. That is because we borrowed this one, it means 0 here. So that means that when you subtract this from this is our answer. This is our answer. If you are subtracting it, this is your answer in base 2. So you can say therefore, okay, you can say therefore 111 square in base 2 minus 101 square in base 2 is equal to, that is what, a 011, okay, 000 in base 2. That is the answer. That is the answer. That is the first method, and that is how you solve it. And that is the first method, and that is how you solve it. See how simple is it? See how simple is it? If you don't want to pass us to this first, if you don't want to pass all this long story, but if this question is theory, you have to show it like this. That is reason why I have to solve it for you like this. If the question is theory, it is very important to show your working style to get your full mark. Very important to solve it like this. This first method I use is very important to solve it like this. If the question is theory, it's very important to solve it like this. To show them your working steps, to show them the step by step you work it. It's very important to solve this. This one we add. You add to your score, you make you get the full mark. Okay, make you get the full mark. That is how you solve it. So what if in case this question is objective, but let me explain the second method, and that is the shortest method you need. Okay, that is the shortest method you need if you're solving this kind of question. So let me explain the second method. So let me say we have the second method. Okay, let me explain the second method to you. Now, the second method, where we're using a binary code, that is what we'll be using. We're using a binary code in second method. We're using a binary code. Now, how do you apply the binary code? Well, this. In the previous class, when we go to live yesterday, I explained the binary code also, and I explained how you could generate the binary code or how to generate a binary code for all number base, either base 2, either base 3, base 4, base 5, base 3, base 5, base 6, any kind of base. I've explained how to generate the binary code for it, the number base code for it, rather number base code for it, which you can check our page. You want to learn on share our page to check it out. But let me explain it, and again, I'd like to break something down for you guys to understand it more better. For you guys to understand it more better, I would like to break it down. So this is what we have as a binary code. Okay, now we are working toward base 2. Now the first code you write is 1. Because it's base 2, the first code you have is 1. Now to get the next code, you multiply this 1 by 2 because we are working towards base 2. So 2 times 1, that is equal to 2. This is the second code. It will be 2. Now, to get the next code, okay, if you want to get the next code, you have to multiply this 2 here by 2 because we have to base 2, we multiply by 2, 2. You hear that? That is this 2 times 2, that is equal to 4. 4 is the next code. Now, if you want to get the next code, you multiply this 4 by 2. I get now, that is 4 times 2, that is equal to 8. So if you want to get the next code, you multiply this 8 by 2 again, that is equal to 16. Like that. I get now. So if it is base 3 or any base, maybe base 4, base 5, base 6, but if it is base 3, that is the same way you did this, that is the same way you do it. If it is base 3, it will be 1. You start from 1. Okay, when you started from 1, then get the next code, you multiply this 1 by 3 because it is base 3, you multiply this 1 by 3. If it is base 4, you multiply the 1 by 4. So let's assume that you want to work toward base 3, you have to multiply it what? By 3. I get now. So when you multiply by 3, that is 3 times 1, that is equal to 3. Now to get the next code, you multiply it by 3. I get now. That is 3 times 3, we have 9. Now that's. Do you understand? But let's solve it. If it is base 4, that is how you'll be solving it. And that is step by step and how you will be solving it. Now, let's move towards our business. This is not the business. This is base 3. We're working towards base 2. I'm just using this one. That is how you generate a number base code for any kind of number base vector to work. If you want to use the number base code, that is how you will generate it. Now we have generated our base 2 because we work toward base 2. We have enabled to generate our number base code. Now here we count it. How many digits do we need here? That is 1, 2, 3. For this one, we need 3 digits. And if you look at the second part also, it's also 3 digits. Now that means that you'll be needing 3 code. So this is 3 code. Start from the right hand side there. This is 3 code we'll be needing because we are working towards 3 digits. What is 1, 2, 3? That is 3 digits. So it means that we will be needing just 3 code here. Or what are the 3 code? That is 1, 2, and 4. That is what we'll be needing. We have write it 1, 2, and 4. That is the code we'll be needing out of this one. You can still generate. Assume that the digits we have up to 8 digits. You have to generate the code up to 8. Again now, but here we have just 3 digits. I have to generate the code with the 3 code. Just done. Now this one, to convert this one to base 10, I'll convert it to base 10. So I convert to base 10 instead of me to use a expansion method. That is when I use binary code, and 10 we'll be using what? Let's go. Let's write this one now. This start from this part also. This one you write it under this one. Okay, the second one you write it under this 2. The second one you write this under what? This 4. Now this one means we are multiplying. This one means that we are multiplying this one times this. Okay, this one by this, and also this one multiplied by this. Okay, and also this one multiplied by this. Okay, so it means that 4 times 1, that is equal to 4. That is 4 plus convert to base 10. So that is also 2 times 1, that is equal to what? 1. That is equal to 2 rather. That's equal to 2 plus 1 times 1, that is equal to what? 1. So when you add it together, that is 2 plus 4 plus 2, that is equal to 6 plus 1, that is equal to what? 7. Again now, so this one give us 7. So it means that when you are converting 111 in base 2 to base 10 is equal to 7 in base 10. That is what we just do here using this binary code. The same thing applicable to the second one here. So let me write the code because it's 3 digits. That is 4. Okay, that is 4, 2, 1. And here let's write this. That is 1. Okay, the next one that is under the 2 is 0, and the next one to be under this 4. Okay, let me try to do this one to avoid mistake. Now, this means that this one multiply by this, okay, and this one multiply by this, and also this one multiply by 1 by this. Now, in this place now, we have 4 times 1, that's equal to what? 4. I get now, plus 2 times 0, that is equal to what? 0, plus 1 times 1, that is equal to what? 1. So when you add it together, 4 plus 0 plus 1, that's equal to what? 5. So that is 5. That is 5 in base 10. So that simply means that if we convert 101 in base 2 to base 10 is equal to what? 5 in base 10. Now the question said that square of this is square of 111 and also square of this what? This 11 or this 101. Now that means that we have, if we say that 11 square, okay, in base 2 is the same thing as 7 square in base 10, and the same thing applicable to this, that is 101 in base square in base 2 is equal to 5 square in base 10. I get that. Now 7 square, that means 7 times 7, and 7 square is 7 times 7, that is equal to what? 49. So that means we have 49, okay, in base 10, that is 49. So in this place now, 5 times 5, that is equal to 5 times 5, that is 25. So it means that this one will be equal to what? 25. I hope you are getting it now. So that means that 5 times 5 here, we have what? 25. Okay, in base 10. Now, let's do the simple mathematics here. Let's know from this place we have 11 square minus 101 square. So let's put this, let me say, maybe we can say have a space to, okay? You can say a small space to write it there. Okay, now this means that let's bring it back. That is 1 in base 2 square, okay, minus 101 in base 2 square. So that will be equal to, and this 111, that means as 7, okay, that will be 7. This one is equal to 7, and the square is equal to 49. That means that we have 49. Just down, that is 49 minus, and this 101, that is 5. So that is what we have, 5. So that is 5. So when you subtract it now, 49 minus 5, what do we get? That will give us as 20 what? 20 sorry, this one is 25 rather. 25. No, what? Okay, let me try to, no, let me call base due. Let me try to wipe this one up. Okay, now this 101 square is equal to what? 25. That is equal to what? 25. So when it subtract it, that will give us as 24. Okay, so you have 24 in base 10. Now you have to convert this one back to base 2 because we are working toward base 2. So you have to convert this one back to base 2. Okay, you have to convert this one back to base 2. If you want to use the code also, you can also use the code. Let me explain to you how to use this code. If I want to convert from base 10 to base 2, I have to use the binary code to convert it. It is very simple. If you want to use the division method, you can use the code to convert it. Because I'm using the binary code, let me explain how to use the code. So let me try to take this space here. So I want to convert 44. So if you look at it now, okay, if you want to get the next number here for this binary code we have here, we have as 16, okay, we have 8, okay, we have 4, we have 2, we have 1. Now, if you look at this code we have here, so in which of the code you can add it together, that will give all this 24. In which of this number here you can add together, that will give us this 24. Which of the number you can add it together that give us this 24? Okay, which of the number that you can add it together that will give us 24? So if you look at it now, if you see the this is very even, it's very easy. So this 16, 16 plus 8 will give us 24 already. So this 16 plus 8 will give us 24. So that means that this 6 is to be on. as 1, to multiply by 1, and this 8, it will be what? On, which will be multiplied by 1. Why this order is multiplied by 0, 0, 0? So that means that when you convert 24 to base 2, it will be equal to 24 to base 10 to base 2 is equal to 1, 1, 0, 0. So that will be the answer. No, it's 3, 0. That is 3, 0. That is in base 2. That is in base 2. That will be the answer. That will be the answer. So the answer is to be equal to 1, 1, 0, 0, 0 in base 2. And that is the step by step to solve it if you are using a binary code. If you are using a binary code, and that is the step by step to solve it. I hope you guys are getting this. So that is step by step to solve it if you are using the binary code. That is the step by step to solve it. See how simple is it? Either use the binary code or use the first method, but it's very advisable. But this method is very, because I may explain it, that is why it may look like maybe it's that long. So if you use this code to treat multiple questions, I have a question under this of that 40, almost 40 plus question under this map-based system that can get you prepared for this upcoming WAEC and JAMB examination. That will be assured that we have already compiled a lot of questions for you guys in this our live class. So always come here. By evening, this is just the testing mode. By next month, until next month, we start our February live class, free class. We'll be starting it by next month. So do it to refer your friend, tell your friends that are writing, tell your family that may have anyone writing this and coming WAEC and JAMB, NECO, any kind of examination they are writing mathematics is very, very important. But mostly this class is for WAEC and NECO examination. Mathematics questions are almost the same. If you can understand the way it's being solved, okay, you are free to go to write any kind of examination. So that is step by step on how to solve this question. Okay, let's make it a day for today. Because I'm also be going to my physical class. I have a class. I also go to my physical class. So this is just building testing of this live class, in which we'll be starting by next month. That is until next month. Join us. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for being the end of this class. Thank you. Don't forget to join us and like this one and share with your friends. God bless you as you share. Let's meet tomorrow for another interesting mathematics class. Guy, thank you.